Awesome. Good morning. So just to kind of elaborate on that, George, great job for putting a lot of that together. Guys, just so you know, it's the entire state of Florida. It's all EXP, and this is going to be massive. It's going to be a massive opportunity to meet agents all over the state, collaborate, bring us all together as in unity and collaboration. It's going to be and it's in Florida. So those of you who are on this call in Florida, fantastic. Those of you who are not, you know, obviously it's a little bit of a travel. So it's a great opportunity to surround yourself around top-minded individuals. Like, number one, you can get referrals from. Number two, you can build awesome relationships with. I know many agents, and I'm looking right at dead center, by joining this company and collaborating with people and coming to events. He's received numerous amount of referrals down in South Florida, Vito, right? So get involved with our group, get involved in these events. It will pay off. It becomes an investment, because that way there you'll get a huge return just on one sale through a referral. So get on that. I put up a quote this morning. I was reading this morning, and this was a great quote. And it says, change can be uncomfortable at first and is necessary for growth. Don't say no in fear, say yes to success. I have no idea where that quote came from. I really don't know, but I do know this: change can be uncomfortable at first and is necessary for growth. Perfect example. There was a young lady who's done telemarketing, and she, you know, I said, give me 10 for sale by owners, and I'm going to put you on Zoom, and I'm calling them, and I'm going to set appointments for you. And she got really almost sick to her stomach. She was very, very uncomfortable, but here she is making tons of calls in the past. Don't say no in fear, say yes to success. See, fear is a liar. And yesterday, I called a broker yesterday, and here's what she said to me. You ready? Said, hey, Pat, how you doing? I love an opportunity to have a business conversation with you. And she goes, excuse me, do you know who I am and what level I'm at? You need to be calling other people, maybe someone that's not that productive, and trying to belittle me. And I said, Pat, thanks for the time. I'll reach out to you in a few more months. All right. So I'm telling you, it didn't defeat me. I didn't feel embarrassed. I didn't feel less than. I didn't feel like my day's ruined. And by the way, runs the #1 brokerage, mom and pop brokerage in Volusia County. And she treated me that way. And that's okay. So if she's going to talk to me that way as a fellow agent, who is she talking to like that in her brokerage? Okay. So that was just something that I was like, I want to share that, because I don't care what she thinks of me, honestly. What I did get out of that conversation is how she treats her people. So I'm going to go into production for you guys. And Curtis and Debbie, thank you for being here. Claire and all of those who always participate on our Fridays. I'd like to throw this out there. Now, when you're doing a mastermind, sometimes coming with a presentation is great, but see, the market has shifted so rapidly in a lot of areas. There's been a 20% slowdown in closed units. Volume is maintaining because the prices were still up, and volume's a lagging effect, right? So it's lagging behind. But if you look at units, and if you feel that your business is level, look at units, and I guarantee you units may be down, most of you, okay? Units are down by 20% in my market. Every top brokerage, the top 10 brokerages, some are down 40, some are down 30, some are down 60, some are down 7, but the average is right at 20 to 25%. So what that tells me is if the units are down, someone's missing an opportunity. And we have to level up, right? This is what this event's called. We have to level up. So what are some of the things? So if you've been highly successful in the last 3 months or failed in the last 3 months, what is the #1 thing that has helped you succeed or has helped you be where you are, where you don't want to be, right? So maybe I will start off with the positive, right? We don't want to pull into a negative. Maybe the positives will help the other people learn. So I'd like to start off and ask Curtis and Debbie, you guys are coaching massive teams. What's the number one thing that they're focusing on right now, other than cutting expenses, to move forward through what we're going through right now? And by the way, there's no crash in the market. It's actually a correction that's highly needed. So homes are still selling faster than they were 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. So what can you input on that there? He's laughing at me. He's probably choking and can't talk right now.
I'm all right. I was waiting for Debbie to talk. I didn't see what she had to say. I haven't talked to her for like, I don't know, 6 hours. Debbie, you're not coming to the party. No, here's the thing.
I'm at the party. I've been at the party for a while.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. What do you think?
So what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing right now is doubling down on the number one thing they didn't have to do for a lot of years, right? For the last few years. I was speaking to a Sotheby's agent yesterday. She's year-to-date 23 million. And her average sale price is 1.5 million. She has 0 on her pipeline. 0. She goes, I'm not scared, but I got to figure out what's going on and I need to correct it. I need to make a pivot quickly because the high-end buyer is not purchasing in our market, right? That's a luxury buyer in that market. They've slowed down. They're keeping their money or whatever they're doing. So I said to her, I said, what's the number one thing that you need to do that you haven't done in the last couple of years, that in order to get to your goal by the end of the year of 40 million, that you need to do more of right now? And she came back to database and lead generation.
It gets boring, Tom. It's not rocket science. We make it so complex and people are like, why are you always talking about database? Why are you talking about lead gen? And I say, are you doing it? Because if you're doing it, then we don't need to talk about it. But it just really is the foundation, and it's simple, but it's not easy.
Yeah. Easy, but not simple. It goes to that. Why do we have this pot of gold and we don't do anything with it? Because we've been kind of spoiled. It's kind of like, you know, I'm spoiled, you know, I don't have to cook, I don't have to clean or any of that stuff. It's like, holy cow. Then my daughter is going to be off to college. My wife might be at an event and gosh, I got to do laundry. I got to cook and clean, all these things I'm not used to doing. I know how to do it. I just got to do it, right? I don't know why that came up, but anyway, what are the things that you need to do to accomplish the goal that you're not doing, that you know you need to do, and what's stopping you from doing it?
Well, Tom, I'm going to back up for a second. I'm going to let everybody off the hook. Okay. So you said something a minute ago. What are we talking to about our teams? Listen, there's 3 things it's going to take to survive in this market going forward. And we've talked about it before. It's not a secret, not complicated, whatever. It is leads. It is your skill, which is your conversations, your needs analysis with your buyer and seller. And it is your understanding of the market and being able to convey that information to the consumer. That's it. So if we back up and we just go to leads, I don't care if you call your database. Don't do it. I don't care. But here's the deal. You need a lot of leads. The reason we talk about the database is because, well, higher conversion out of that. And by the way, it costs you nothing. But if you don't want to call them, I don't care. Put your money down, go buy leads, go do whatever you got to do. You need a lot of leads to survive going forward. So if you wanted to be off the hook, you're off the hook for not calling your database, but really shouldn't be, because we do know that for, so many people that we might have in our database, our sphere of influence, that if we're communicating with them regularly, they produce a certain amount of referrals and fruit, and that there's an easier conversion because we spend less time selling ourselves, convincing them to conduct business with us and stuff like that, right? Because they're calling us because somebody else was a raving fan and told them Curtis is the best real estate agent ever. Call that guy or whatever, right? So we just know, we know that that's where we should focus. But if you don't want to, don't. But go get yourself a whole bunch of leads from somewhere else and then get really good at talking to them and get really good at understanding and knowing your market and the trends and what's happening and being able to convey that information to the consumer. That's it. Whatever. But you go back to database and we can hammer on that because you really should be there, but just takes a lot of leads. And quite honestly, it's going to take a little bit of this database. It's going to take a little bit of this, and it's going to take a little bit of something else. Debbie talks about all the time. She says three-legged stool. What's your three sources of business? Find them, get really good at them, and hammer down on them. Double down, whatever. Anyway, there you go. I'm done.
The three legs. I don't know about you guys, but I've been in the business 22 years. I have never had so many calls ever in the 22 years from lenders saying, hey, Tom, checking in, say, hey, how you doing? What's going on? It's been a long time since we've talked. I'm like, who are you? Derek, holy cow, I haven't talked to you in 14 years. How you doing? He goes, man, we got to reach back out. Where a year ago, they weren't calling us at all because they were just slammed with us giving them business, right? Well, I know Curtis coaches a very, very highly productive mortgage company, and we're seeing and we're hearing applications down by 50, 60%. That means they're reaching back out to their database, which is agents. Okay. We as the agent are the resource for our lenders, for our title company, for everybody involved in a transaction. And now is the time to tighten up your vendor partnership and go at it together, right? If you're looking for help with your database, if you need Alyssa Pimento to help you get that stuff going, I've never met her. I've heard nothing but absolutely amazing things about that young lady, helping certain agents who are raving about everything that she's done for them on her KV Core. You need to reach out to her because that's your database in there. So your three-legged stool. Deb, you want to talk on that?
No. I mean, the challenge is that we all get distracted by the shiny objects and the easy button, right? It looks like other agents are doing things and getting business and not working hard at it. And as Tiffany likes to say, all the lead generation sources work, all of them, they all work. You just got to get good at whatever and pick three and stick with it. And I'm talking about pick three for the next 12 months and don't waver, which means don't attend a training course that isn't on your three. Don't go to it. Oh, it's really cool. 1031 exchange. I tell this all the time. When Curtis was running an office, he submitted a survey to his agents and it says, what do you want to learn about? And 1031 exchange won. And I'm like, are you kidding me? How many 1031 exchanges are you going to do in a year? It's sexy. It's different. If I could. Nobody asked, how do I learn how to talk to my database better? How do I create a better system for communicating with my database? How do I get good at understanding the market and communicating that to the consumer? Nobody asked those questions. And the reality is if you were to narrow your focus, pick three sources and say, for the next year, I'm not going to do anything but these three. And I'm going to find other agents that are doing it at a high level. And I'm going to pick their brain and I'm going to interview them. And I'm going to find out how they're doing it. And then I'm going to execute. You will be here a year from now. You will be so successful, because they all work, but it's just so challenging with all the shiny objects. If you're going to buy leads, then buy them. Double down, but you better make sure you have a year's worth of money to buy them, because you can't buy them for now and hope that in 3 months you're going to make enough money to be able to continue to pay for them. If you're going to buy leads, if you have the resources for 12 months, then buy them, but work them hard, right? Follow up, be annoying in your follow-up with that. Get good at it. Because it's simple, it's not easy, right?
You know, the piggyback on that, and when we're talking about getting listings, yesterday I looked at the MLS, there was 39 expireds. 39. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, and this is Daytona, guys. I'm looking at them like, holy cow, that's a very sellable home if it was $100,000 less. Holy cow, that's a very sellable home if they didn't have the pictures sideways with their finger in the middle of the camera of the photo. Oh my gosh, the laundry room, it has laundry on the floor, and it shows a picture of the garage with tools that have been in it for 500 years. So those days are over, guys, where you can just put a picture in and anybody will come and make multiple offers. Right now, you better build your skill set and your listing presentation. And one of the top agents I spoke to yesterday, guys, I talk to agents every day. And I said, Brandon, tell me what you're doing on your listing appointment now. He goes, I go in with a separate form with, and this is a Fred thing that he talks about all the time. He goes, every 10 days, we have a price adjustment, and they initial beside it. Right away. He said, if they don't do that, I don't take the listing. I don't care how much it is or what it is. He goes, because we're here to help them sell property. We're not here to list a home and ignore them. Okay. So when you're out there lead generating and prospecting, you got to build your skill set on that listing presentation. Be sharp, be prepared, be ready. Get that professional photographer out there. Get the best write-up you can. Copy.iu or AU. Ali, what is it? Copy.ai? Copy.ai. Copy.ai writes the whole description for you. You just put in the bedrooms, the bath, the location, everything, and it prints out this beautiful description. Copy.ai. You know, don't be like a Tom Martin, minutes to the beach. No matter where I listed a property in Volusia County, it was always minutes to the beach because it was minutes to the beach, right? It's just not what they're looking for. You may think, oh, large kitchen. What's large to you is not large to someone else. So look at copy.ai and let that help you. Photos, you know, if you're anywhere in the Central Florida, Orlando, Volusia County, Flagler, Melbourne, there's an amazing photographer that we use on a regular basis. And you know what? He puts a website, puts all these things up, and those there, that's showing your value proposition. So when commission comes up, there's no objection. Money's only a factor when value is not delivered. Commission's only they want to negotiate commission when you don't deliver enough value. There's always going to be someone that'll do it for less, and they're going to give you less. Would you like to list today for 400 or next year for 320? Right? So building your skill set right now is the most critical time. Not only are we seeing units down, but we're entering a season where it is a little bit slower nationally, 5 to 10% decrease in units anyways. So now we're going to see even more. Now's the time to get the inventory. Now's the time to carry inventory, multiple listings, multiple inventory, because then you'll be capturing the buyer. There's no better time than the time right now for sale by owners. There's no better time right now than to get your geographic farming going. You know, we're going to have a guest on our call. I think it's next week, Curtis, right? That talks about the geo farming where you set it and forget it. I've done geo farming, amazing. You know, one mail out and forget to mail the next 7 out, right? By the way, print does work. It works way better than social media. The statistics will show that printouts, postcards will work better than the social media. It'll capture them more. You just have to have the caption material. So 855, Debbie's talked about the 3 legs, you know, and simple, not easy. You know, Curtis has talked about the market as well. We talk about the same thing, guys. Any coaching, anytime I was on a coaching call being coached, all right, do you know the coach said the exact same thing almost every call to me? How many appointments? Oh, you didn't hit your appointment count. Oh, let's talk about that for a minute. How many calls did you make? Oh, I didn't make any calls. Oh, wow. See how that works? You don't make calls, you don't get appointments. Oh, you didn't convert anything because you didn't make calls that led into appointments that you didn't have, so you've got nobody. Stop sitting around waiting for the phone to ring. That will happen at a very small level, but right now, get out there and work. See, you're being paid $100, $200, $300 an hour at a closing. Are you worth that? You have to ask yourself that. Would you hire you? Would you hire you? Ask yourself that. So if you say you deliver great service, why aren't you out there reaching out for those people that you can serve? So I'm looking at the comments, you know, the price reductions. Guys, look at your National Association of Realtor articles. Look at your FAR or your state Association of Realtors. Get your stats. Be a master at numbers. Be a master at numbers. Even if you don't like numbers, you better start liking numbers, because it's important that you deliver these facts to the consumer, because you have an ethical obligation. I got into it with an appraiser about 4 months ago, and I just said my piece and I was done. She priced the home. She did the appraisal, and the appraisal came 40 or 50,000 below the contract price. So I called her and I said, how can that be? She goes, are you questioning my professionalism? I said, I'm actually questioning your real estate license now, because you have the exact same home priced at what ours is on the contract for, and you're also an appraiser, so you will have an ethical obligation to give the real true value. So I called a broker and I'm like, we can't have this. I called the board of realtors. We can't have this. For some odd reason, the appraisal got fixed. Oh, I didn't see this comp or that comp or this comp, right? So, you know, you get an appraiser who's appraising a home less, and then they're also a licensed agent pricing a home above. They have an ethical obligation. Guys, don't do that anymore. Don't price a home over the market. Right now, you are hurting yourself. One of the most influential people in real estate said this, and this is what he does with his own personal properties. He's with KW. He said he sells every single property he owns. When he sells it, and he advises all his clients to do the same, 80 to 85% below the market. So it sells fast, number one. Number two, they get multiple offers where they get the real price. Because if you price it at the market and it takes 90 days to go on the contract and then another 45 to 60 days to close, you're at almost 6 months of payments, taxes, utilities, everything else. Time is money and time is precious. Fred.
Tom and Debbie, just as you were saying what you're saying, and I love that, you know, like your 1031 exchange, and I have one of my agents who's just coming on, and he's here and she's there and she's everywhere. And I'm saying, did we do the database yet? Did we do the database yet? Did we do the database yet? Just as you were saying that, I get this text. I'm going to hopefully, oh, 1 second. Can you see that?
No.
Can you see that one or no?
It's blurry. I see
It's
a
a
wave.
guy. It looks
I
like
see it's Garfield.
Garfield waving.
Garfield waving. That comes from Ari Albiner. Look him up. Meisner Grand Realty, one of the most successful luxury brokers in our area. Ari and I are good friends since I've been there since 1989. We go to lunch together, and he just thinks the world of me, but he loves his company. Don't blame me. He's got a great, very successful company. Ari's entire business for the last 10 years has been sending gifts, those little things, to his wealthy customers. I'm at lunch with him. He said, Fred, look at this. They send me one back. Hey, Fred, look at this one. This was a $3 million deal I got. That's all he does. I love you. He sends me them all the time. I miss you. When are we going to have lunch again? That's all he does. Now, he does a great job on his marketing and advertising because he positions himself as a luxury. But it's crazy what Debbie, what you said is so key. You got to find the simple things. Keep it simple. And just as you said that, Ari sends me this crazy little thing, I love whatever it was with Garfield. Wait. So that's how simple it can, and you can keep it.
That's awesome. Thank you. I was talking to, I was on the flight home from Dallas, and there was a Tom Ferry conference going on as well. So a lot of people were on the plane were either from EXP or from the Tom Ferry. So it was like a realtor fest on the airplane. And I was talking to the young man beside me, and he said, I said, what was the whole meaning of the conference to you? He goes, I've been in the industry a little over 10 years. And what I heard him say the entire time is work your database. And Tom Ferry's, marketing is way different than his dad's, Mike Ferry, which is, yes, lead generation, cold call and all that, where Tom Ferry is the warm approach where, hey, work your database, send them love, send them cards, send them market values, call them, love on them. And that right there, he goes, I haven't done that in 2.5 years and I need to do it. But I hope I haven't lost people because they were calling me, I wasn't calling them. Now it's reversed. Go ahead, Krista. Always good to hear from Krista, who's been in the business a while, a couple years or two, maybe 1 or 2, right, Krista? And
yeah,
she works her butt off. She does the work.
Thank you. So I was just gonna say, I put, not bragging, I just put 2 buyers under contract this week, and yes, we all want listings, but go back. We've done a lot of open houses over the past 2 years. Go back to all your sign-in sheets, call everybody, because there are deals to be had. I mean, I'm, under contract on 10% under list price. So, as long as buyers marry the house and not interest rate, and they can make their payments, this is a great opportunity for buyers to come back in the market. No multiple offers. Call all your buyers. I mean, I have probably 200 people that I'm going through from all my signing sheets that I didn't have time to call, right? So that's easy. And, I'm one that has never, I did mailings a long time ago, but that never worked for me. And I think a lot of people don't have the money to be consistent with mailings in a farm. Door knock, I door knock and it worked. So just, but go back to the basics and don't reinvent the wheel. And about expires, you're right. I looked at expires yesterday. It's the first of the month. There's a lot of expires. Call them. I mean, it's not hard. Call them. They need help. They want to sell. So I'm sorry, that's it.
No, Chris, I got a question for you. Now you're in South Florida, right?
Yes.
Where in South Florida are you?
I'm in Boca.
Okay, so Boca's a little bit warmer than Daytona Beach area, I would say, right? About probably 7 to 10 degrees. Is it hot when you door knock, or is it cool just for you to door knock, right? There's no hot temperature. You're not sweating at all, by the way, right? You're just, it's nice and cool and
sweating like a pig.
Right?
I'm sweating like a pig.
Yeah, and you got Liz at the bottom of my screen here, right? Liz is showcased an EXP who door knocks in the rain, right? It starts downpouring, right? She's a mom, she's a wife, she's a businesswoman. She does the darn work. She's working her butt off, guys. She left a team to take the chance on herself, come to EXP. Her business has done exceptionally well. And you know what? When I call her and talk to her, she's like, I'm a little bit worried about this. I said, well, go back to the things you did. She goes, okay, now I feel better.
Hey, Tom, let me jump in with Krista and Liz. I use them both as example, but of course, Krista is right in my office and in my group. But one of the things on Wednesday, we talked about circumstances. That's going to be the new topic for the next 3 or 4 Wednesdays. And this week I'm having Christian Rockwell on talking about creating circumstances, because we create them good and bad. And Christian, 42 deals his first year. He'll be on this Wednesday talking about the circumstances he created. Look at Krista, you go, well, I know why she's so successful. Listen, a mom, she's taken many vacations with her children who are just ready to, they're becoming adults. She has been remodeling a major, totally rebuild almost of a house during this past year. Done exceptionally, so was fearful leaving Douglas Elliman because of the luxury brand. She has just taken ownership that she's the brand. And then Liz is doing the same thing. And so they've creating these circumstances. Chris and I have lunch today with 2 Douglas Elliman top producing agents. She's adding to her line. So I looked at her watch the other day. She didn't know it. She has the same 12 numbers on her watch as I have on mine, and everyone has on this call. How does it happen? How does Liz be able to get the kind of business she does as a newer agent? Krista able to transform her business. She has the same amount of time all of us are. She's creating circumstances that lead to this stuff. So, everything you and Debbie and try. Yeah, keep it simple. Keep it simple.
There's a magic number, and Lisa, I'm gonna bring you on. Fred, you just kind of clicked something in my head. I used to teach on this course. What's your one thing? There's 1,440 watt in a day. Ali probably knows this because he's got the memory of he absorbs everything. 1,440 watt per day. What does that number represent? Minutes, right? Now, do we all have the same amount of minutes in a day? Why is one person accomplishing things at a higher level than others? And don't just say because they have leverage, but they had to create leverage. They had to grow through the process. They had to dig and climb and crawl and fall and get scraped up, beat up to get there, right? Everyone's a realtor until they get punched in the face, right? Doesn't that Mike Tyson say, everyone's got a big mouth until they get punched in the face? That was one of his quotes. Everyone's a professional boxer until they get hit real hard. Everyone's a realtor until things get a little bit tough. But are you preparing? Are you training? Are you taking your 1,400 shots a day like LeBron James? Are you building your skill set, your mindset? Are you surrounding yourself around the right people? Are you doing that? Come around me and be negative, and I'm going to walk away from you. I don't even care what you're saying that's negative. Now, if it's family things that you're struggling through, I get it. But if you're making excuses, here's what I do. I hang up. I'm not going to tolerate the bogus crap that you have to say out of excuses. There's no excuses. I look at this screen, and many of you that I'm looking at have children. They're caretakers for their spouses. They're businesswomen. They do everything. How do they do it all? They have the same amount of time in a day as I do, right? But they do it because they got to do it, and they're not going to let people down. Lisa, thank you for having your hand up and your patience.
Yes, no problem. I just want to chime in there too, because we really have to get organized what we want to do, whether it's going to be trying to recruit or try to sell. And I know I lost a lot of production in the beginning of the year. So I have 12 weeks to make up for the year, which is no problem, right? However, I decided I have a listing. I went out and I door knocked in my workout clothes because I wanted to get some walk in. And the neighbors that was home opened their doors. Some of them been there 62 years, 40 years, 30 years, 20 years. They gave me, it was the sweetest moment. I'm going to go back out later this evening, I have to get my grandkids. So I'm going to take the stroller out and we're going to go door knock and, give them a home evaluation and have conversations. I think people really want, they see you with your tennis shoes on and just, I think I had my Tony Robbins hat on. I don't know. But anyway, I had a t-shirt on, EXP Runathon t-shirt from the summit. I wasn't dressed up. I had no makeup on. And it was the best ever. And so I'm just saying, you don't have to be, driving your car. Unfortunately, I had parked my car at the house, but if you don't live in the neighborhood, park it somewhere else or get dropped off and just start walking, not driving and not looking so dialed up, and people are more receptive.
Yeah.
And I did more phone callings last night from the leads I got. And normally I'll get leads and I'm always giving them away to somebody and they don't know what to do with them. Try to do your own. So, I was having conversations with people that actually picked up the phone. So what that is, that's just energy. When energy flows through you, no matter what you're going to do, it's going to be a positive. So
Yeah.
if you just start doing it, it's going to have a breakthrough.
Absolutely. Lisa, here's another thing. Realtors are an amazing resource for our growth of our business, by the way. So if you're in South Florida, Miami, Fort Lauderdale area, you want to build a relationship with people in Orlando and Tampa at a high level, right? Metropolitan areas,
Yeah.
Jacksonville, they all kind of go together. Lots of referral opportunities. Any event you go to, get a business card, contact them. Thank you. Can I put you in my database for referrals in this area? You have no idea. The lady that I was talking to on the at the end of the flight, I called her the next morning, and she's with Sotheby's in Narcoossee area on the other Lake Nona. And I said, hey, I'm a realtor also 22 years, and we're in New Smyrna Beach, but I'm not with Sotheby's. I'm with EXP. She goes, oh my gosh, you were great to talk to. Can I send you a $2 million referral? So
Wow.
we're meeting next Thursday, and it's an attorney from Orlando. She doesn't go out of her area. Now, guys, I say this because just because we got buyers and sellers in our thing, also get your realtors. There's a huge opportunity there. Huge opportunity. This is your call. Dig in.
Tom, can I jump in?
Of course you can.
Amazing call as usual. Friday is my favorite. I'm glad George is not listening. So
We don't care if he listens anyways. He tries to punch me in the arm every time he hears a compliment come my way and not his way, but we're not close to each other now. So
we love both of you. A little bit more towards you than George, but that's different. Going back, what everybody's talking about, guys, come from somewhere, come from giving, come from conversation, come from knowledge, come from not salesy. Take that hat upside down, take it off. Because the problem we run into and problem I see with agents is they're always going for the kill. They're always going for the, throat. No, create a conversation with Ali. Hey, how are business? How's things? This is working for me. How's things not working? Which is what's working for you and what's not working for you. Connect that dots together as two different individuals. You're going to create a much deeper relationship with them. The next time that the person talks, like simple example Tom just gave, he spoke to somebody about something else, and now he's about to get a $2 million listing. When you keep on throwing that in I should be a referral partner in this area and that, people take a different approach to that. If somebody keeps on telling you, next time you need something, call me for this, and I'm the best, this, whoa, right there tells me enough about the person. I don't want to deal with people like that. I'm not that way. So, and I've always, doing this for 17 years, always come from somewhere. Never think what I'm getting. It's all about giving. Remember that. And it comes 10 times, 10-folds.
It always does. It always does. It was a hard thing for me to understand years ago. It really was. In my what I love to do more than anything is to help people grow, and then while they're growing, I'm reaping rewards, right? You do. Trust me. You know, do the right thing and the right thing happens. Tell the truth and mean what you're saying and believe in what you're saying. You become authentic. And nobody can call me and go, you lied to me, because I'm going to tell you the truth and you may not like me. I'm not going to lie to you for you to like me. I may tell you something that you don't want to hear. And I've done that to many coaching clients before. I've told them things that they didn't want to hear. They needed to hear it, but they didn't want to hear it. And they either fire me or they move forward. I don't listen. I'm not here to be your best friend. I'm here to tell you the truth and help you through your challenges. We all have it. No matter what the market is, life hits us. And when life hits you, you better be prepared for that and have a foundation or a support group, no matter what hits you, right? Life hits us. So, all right, come on, it's your call. We got 14 more minutes. Oh, look at Vito. Oh, look at the little guy. Oh,
Hey, Tom. So great call. All good information from everybody. I think, the database is key. If you're not doing it, you got to do it. Move into the.
Vito, how far are you from Icon?
I think like $900 in fees. I got my little spreadsheet, so I'm calculating it and I'm boycotting Vegas so that I can get my stock and go next year.
So guys, he actually joined us in February. So not to say that anything like that, but he's also gotten great referrals from our group. That's helped. He's gotten amazing relationships. He's getting his stock back for his family. Guys, just do the work. And you know what? Vito's hasn't been in the business 100 years. He knows that working his database and his sphere of influence and the people he knows is critical. And that's what he works.
Yeah. Who's that, Liz?
Hey guys, can I chime in?
What if we said no?
I would stay quiet and I would be like, I respect whatever Tom says.
No.
Good.
Yes, she can talk, and that is it. Final, period, end of story. Go ahead, Liz.
Good morning, everyone. So yeah, guys, just piggybacking and reiterating what everyone is talking about. Just with database, guys, like also keep in mind, guys, just do your gratitude calls, guys. Honestly, they really and truthfully go a long way. Just by calling someone and saying, hey, thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you for helping me in my business, whether you're a mentor, a business partner, a client. Guys, these calls matter. And if you do 5 a day, I'm telling you, did one yesterday, just picked up a $500,000 listing, signed the paperwork this morning, guys. This is just me coming from contribution, not saying, hey, do you want to sell your house? It's, hey, how are you? We haven't talked in a while. I hope all is well with you and the family. What's up? What's new? He goes, actually, I just opened up a new business. I need to sell my house, Liz. Thank you so much for calling me. And sell my house and move to Naples. So if anyone here on the call service is Naples, guys, please send me a text. And okay,
Ruth
send me a
is
text.
awesome.
Send me a text, Ruth. Yes, I know she's amazing. But guys, these gratitude calls mean everything. And the point wasn't to show that, we're getting business out of it. It's just showing that we love our people and we're there for our people no matter what, especially in this market that has already shifted.
That's incredible. See, Ruth just got a referral opportunity just from being on this call today.
I'm on it every morning, single morning.
That right there says a lot. I mean, come on, guys, what an amazing opportunity. So thank you, Liz, for sharing. Thank you for always participating. Thank you for always, giving your wisdom of things that you're learning, because you're important to us for sure. And your success is important to you and your family and us as well. So. And you have Claire on your side to tell me to be quiet at all times. So there you go. All right. Anyone else? Come on. Thank you for everyone who's participated in these calls. If you're not receiving the weekly emails, I know a lot of us get a ton of emails. We get frustrated. I never unsubscribe to hardly anything. Our GPS weekly emails, I read it the other day. I was like, holy cow. I called George immediately. I texted Tiffany. I sent them a screenshot. I said, this is absolutely awesome. It's informative. It's everything that we need. So if you hit unsubscribe to any of the emails coming from GPS, let Tiffany know, resubscribe to it. There's a lot of great information there to help give you ideas of what our social things are going on, our training things that are going on. This massive training in September, our daily calls. You won't get an email every day, but you're going to get a weekly update email. It's important you look at it, because when I looked at it, I'm like, this is exactly what keeps us on track. All right, so I didn't know we had a call today. Well, that's right, because you didn't look at your email or you're unsubscribed. Just because you don't want the email today doesn't mean you don't need the email next week. So don't unsubscribe to something that's going to bring you value, right? So anyway, that's my my spiel for today. I appreciate every single one of you. Listen, right now is go time. There's going to be, we have our social committee and our training committee working really, really hard. Keep an eye on that training calendar. I'm going to be doing business planning classes. We're going to give it a sexier name because that's boring name, right? And it's 3 hours minimum. Don't think you're walking in for an hour and getting everything you need. You're not going to. It's going to be a minimum of 3 hours. And I even told Kara, who's up in Huntsville, Alabama, get it together and I'll drive up there and teach it up there. All right. So get your title company lender, tell them to put it on. I'd love to come up there. It gives me an opportunity to take a drive and get out. It's what I love to do.
Thanks, Tom. You got questions?
Uh-oh. Here we go. Email.
Tom, when are we doing that? When are you hosting that business clinic class?
Okay, so the training committee is putting that together. So I know we're doing 2 in South Florida, and I'm not sure if it's September or October. I'm doing several in the Orlando area. I'm going to do them in Tampa. I told Kara I'll do one up there. And here's the thing. If any of you want to put one together, don't do it yourself. Call your title company and say, hey, we got this guy that's going to do a business planning class. We'll call it something sexy. You send it out to all your realtors that you know and invite them in. And boom, they'll come. And by the way, the title company is going to love it. They pay for the entire thing. They're going to love it because they're going to have many realtor opportunities to build a relationship, get title, and boom, you're doing the class or I'm doing the class. You put it together and you get all the names of the attendees and you call them and say, hey, what did you think about the event? By the way, would you like to get more information about us? I don't know. It's a lead-in. It's a lead-in with giving value and reciprocation. And I can't teach it in Spanish, guys. Sorry. This gringo does not speak that language. As much, even if I tried to, I'd probably mess it all up. Right, Lizette?
Right. But,
Bendito.
but we're going to work with what we got. And this is my suggestion. I always thought that if we did, I know this is not on for the call, but if we did a 2-part class and we did it more intense, a couple hours, but we can get times in between for them to actually do the work there. And then we can assign people for each group to help them. So it's not just you. You train a couple people before the class to make sure that we know what we're doing. And then we become the facilitators for each group to help them do it right there. We give them time to actually put in the numbers right there. I think it's going to be more, they're going to take away, wow, I actually did it, because they're too busy. They leave these classes.
Yeah, you just helped me put them in 2 sections now.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. And then as far as the Spanish speaking part, again, we're not going to talk about what we can't do. We're going to talk about what we can do. And where you're going to bring bilingual people to your class, like me, and we're going to come in and we're going to do it with you. So you bring the brains and we're going to actually just duplicate.
How do I know you're telling them what I'm saying versus talking bad about me to them?
Because if they give you the look and smile, you know that they love you. If they look at you bad, you know I said something I probably shouldn't have said. But you know,
So you can let go and let God and trust Lizette has your back.
that's right.
I do. I trust Lizette. I connected with Lizette almost the very first time I ever met her. I was like, I want to get to know her and her husband more. And I spent a lot of time sitting with them, talking to them, getting to know them. So
He was very good at coming in at my Legion time. I didn't say that. Did I say that already? Oh, sorry. Love you.
sorry. All right, guys. So the classes, keep an eye out on GPS Global Partners calendar under training. Really look at it. I'm like, George, we need a training calendar on our website. He goes, it's there. Ding dong. I'm like, oh, okay, there it is. Yeah. So I too is I got selective seeing and hearing and all that stuff. So, right, Tiff?
Yeah, and then he blows up my phone. He's like, Tiff, I need you to put this on the calendar. Pretty please, please, please.
I learned something new. So yes, we're going to do South Florida, 2 different areas in South Florida, and Vito, enjoy Mexico. I know that's going to be something you guys are looking forward to. Enjoy it, get that family time in. And if we can do anything for you while you're going, let us know.
Thank you.
All right. Good to see everyone. Are you waving hi or are you asking a question?
No, I want to say something. You were talking about earlier about what to do going out there. I just want to put this out there. If you're not, anybody in this group have their moms, single moms, caretakers. I'm sure there's a couple of them on the group. This is a good time to step up to be a leader. And, there's a lot of people out there that are like little islands, right? Little islands. They feel like they're, I'll give you an example. I have a coworker of mine, she's frustrated because she needs help at home as a single mom. There's things that you can partner up and do, bring community into some of these realtors. Like, for example, finding somebody to clean their house. You can say, hey, how about we team up and we hire somebody and we have somebody come clean your house for 2 hours. Remember, they live close by. These are ideas and we can leverage coming in together. Same if I need a showing, it brings value. You don't have to talk about, EXP, it's really helping other agents and where they're at and feeling like they're not alone, because a lot of times they feel alone and they get frustrated, they shut down and they don't produce. Okay. And I just want to put this out there. There are things that we can do. It's just, we think that it's not possible. There's things, but I just want to put it out there. Think outside the box.
Love that. Yeah, don't try to do it alone. If there's someone in need for something, let us know. I got a special place for single moms always anyway, growing up with a single mom. But I will tell you, moms will do whatever it takes to succeed. And they're very determined, right? It's their nature. So if we can ever help anyone out, just reach out. So, all right. I'm out. Tiff,
Thank
Joel, yours.
you.